Welcome, wonderful people. We're back for week 4 of the Morning Rush Show, and we're going to be breaking down your start and sits. So bring them on in. We're ready to go. I'm Honcho, and this is my guy,
Rocco.
and we got some good stuff.
Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't follow no script. I make my own lane. Got a spreadsheet mind and a red brass brain. Dynasty beats got that tape in my veins. While they drafting by names, I'm exposing their game. No cap. We study the craft like film room rats. Gyms in the fourth while they stuck in the past. It's levels to the dynasty. Keep or flex. From rookies to pros, we demand and respect. That's real. And I ain't never need clout for my clout to show. Just a mic I take and a team I grow. This ain't just picks, it's principle G. It's fourth in fantasy where you build your legacy. We 10 toes down, yeah, we stand.
They are already
Hey, listen, we're back at it again with another week. I hope everyone is doing well, doing dandy, doing swell. We already got some good folks in here. Katimi, good morning to you. Welcome, my brother. We got our guy Max in the house. Yo, what's happening? And then we also got TC Execution. Welcome back, my G. Glad to have you as always. We're ready for these starting sets. And remember, this is the first week where we have a very, very early game. I'm talking about 9:30. And Jalen Warren has already been ruled out. So make sure you have that in your lineups. Make sure you have him out of your lineups. Don't get screwed. And if you are a Caleb Johnson truther, hopefully, we see some good work today from him because we feel like he complements or replaces the role that Jalen Warren has, and then Gainwell can continue his third down pass catcher type role. But like I said, I'm Honcho, and this is my guy.
Siriaco, call me Rocco. Sorry, I accidentally hit the button a little early there. We didn't we didn't discuss when I was when my producing prowess I was supposed to hit the button, but I got a little excited. I just fiddled that button a little early.
Hey, no worries, my G. We're rocking, we cooling, we going. And like I said, we gotta get these lineups ready to go. Just looking through so far. We have a lot of talk so far with Gainwell season. I don't want to hear that shit. And
Oh man,
if
where's the gif of me drinking bleach
right,
thinking about Gainwell season?
I ain't trying to hear all that right now. And that's nothing to gain. Well, I just have so many Caleb Johnson shares. I really need to see him get some type of on-field work. Tomlin has already said he will not see no kickoff type snaps. And I'm happy for that because he's not a kickoff returner. So I don't know what y'all was doing in the first place with that. But let's look through some of these chats. Morning to you, Shroom. Welcome back, my brother. Let's see. Oh, damn. Yes, Katimi. Yes, Jalen Warren is out. Get that. You literally have 26 minutes to make that changes in your lineup.
Wipe that snot out your eyes and make a decision. If you have a question, throw it in the chat.
Mm.
And I don't know if I know most of you guys know us, but for the new people, we are a dynasty. No, fuck. We are a fantasy football podcast for Dynasty Sickos by Dynasty Sickos. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Get your breakfast burrito and let's go.
And we're also your fantasy playbook to more championship wins. Trying to get you a W this week as we work through these start and sit questions. And just like last week, if we're going through our spill, but if it ends up, we end up getting a ton of start and sit questions, we'll just go to that, pivot to that, and have that be the whole show. Now, watch from the boat, trying to get the catfish. You feel? Hold up. Shroom is on the boat trying to catch some catfish. Yes, sir.
He said
Yes,
he's not
sir.
getting catfish, he's getting the
You
catfish.
getting the catfish. Hey, we hope you get a whole bunch of catch today, my boy, and get some W's while we in there. Yes, sir. Let's talk about these games. And matter of fact, since we were just talking about the Steelers and getting Jalen Warren out of your lineups, the first 9:30 game of the season. If you're not an early bird, get your ass up anyway. When we're looking at this game, Jordan Addison is back after his suspension. So he joins Justin Jefferson. Carson Wentz is his quarterback. So we're not getting the full, the full potential of the offense. But
Mhm.
Carson Wentz didn't look bad last week. I think he looked very serviceable. Maybe that's be due to the offensive play caller that they have and him making everything kind of gel together. But he didn't put Carson Wentz in a bad position, and he'd also Carson Wentz wasn't trying to play hero ball like he's back in his prime days and with the Philadelphia Eagles. So when I'm looking at this game, Rocco, who are some of the folks that you're personally looking at between Vikings and Steelers to potentially give the folks some points this week?
Um, I'm interested in throwing Addy in there. I put him in a couple spots. I don't really, I'm not really scared of the Pittsburgh Steelers defense as a whole or their secondary. They traded Minka Fitzpatrick right before the start of the season, and they've been getting they've been getting scored on. They've been getting scored on to start the season. So I'm getting my wide receivers in there. I mean, I'm a little nervous about Wentz feeding them, but I'm going to get those guys in there. Um, I'm basically going to start all of my studs against Pittsburgh until they can prove that they're an elite defense again. I mean, they still have T.J. Watt, but some of the other parts, are not that scary. Um, and our guy Jay wants to know if Jordan Mason's going to boom again.
Is Jordan Mason going boom? Well, we kind of pointed to last week with the coach talking about he has the what they're looking for in a bell cow. He can give them a bell cow tape roll. I think this is another solid week to start Jordan Mason, not because of him like just dogging the Steelers offense, but because he's going to get the volume for them. It hurts my soul because I absolutely do love Jordan Mason. I'm upset that he's hurt. I have him in quite a few places, so I've been kind of
Jordan Mason's hurt?
not Jordan Mason. I'm sorry, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is on a lot of my rosters, and I've been trying to pivot from that. A lot of places I'm screwed. It is what it is, right? But I think Jordan Mason can very much get you where you need to go for sure, for sure. Katimi says with Jalen Daniels out, Mariota versus Atlanta or Gino versus Chicago. Mariota actually looked pretty decent last week if it wasn't for that dumbass fumble he had on that long run. Cover up the ball, Junior. That's what you need to do. And Gino, the Raiders' offense right now isn't gelling. That offensive line is doo-doo caca, and they can't even get one of their best players, Aston Genty, some real good running room. I'm gonna hate myself for this, but I probably will roll with because AJ Terrell is also out again for the Falcons, but Terry McLaurin is out. They basically have Debo, Jaden Daniels is JCM is a little. I heard he's been a little banged up for the week. I might just lean towards Geno Smith versus Chicago, but it's not that far for me. How about you, Rocco?
I'm sorry, I was just jumping back in with the Jordan Mason question, and I got this little chart from PFF right here. As you can see, the defensive line is playing terribly so far, and Patrick Queen has also been playing pretty awful. So I think this is another sneaky start for Jordan Mason. He's going to get all of the touches. Um, you know, he's going to get all the running back touches, and it looks like Pittsburgh's been struggling thus far. So they, absolutely allowed Brees Hall to have an amazing game week one, and he's kind of hasn't done much since. So that just kind of shows you how bad the Pittsburgh defense has been. So I think Jordan Mason's a must start. Let me take that off the screen. And what was the question? I'm sorry, I was just looking up something when you were talking.
Yeah. So with Jaden Daniels out, would you go Mariota versus Atlanta, or would you go Gino versus Chicago?
Chicago's defense has been struggling as well. Mariota has some of that Konami Code running appeal, but I still don't trust him. And he doesn't have his wide receiver one out there. So I mean, who's he going to throw to? LMC. I hope so. I like LMC as a
A lot of
when he
Ertz.
came out. A lot of Ertz, maybe a Jalen Lane as a sneaky dart throw. But yeah, I'm going with Geno. Even if they get down, they've proven that he is a garbage time merchant, and he'll get you some numbers at the end of the day.
And I'm gonna throw a few at you from our boy Katimi. He also goes Hunter Henry versus Carolina, Ertz versus Atlanta, and a half PPR in the same league. Hunt versus Beemore or Woody. I probably would go Woody over Hunt just because I think Woody has been getting more involved in the Texans offense. And then we threw the bone to Hunter Henry last week, and he actually came out and produced. Zach Ertz has been still very much evolved, even last week without Jaden Daniels out. And if I'm remembering correctly, I think he's in like the top 5 right now for tight ends, even at his old ass age. So I'm going to ride it out again with Hunter Henry this week. I think he continues to get you some solid production,
Mm-hmm.
but don't kill me if Zach Ertz actually comes out of this thing with a tutty. No,
I,
so
I'll say this about those two is Hunter Henry. I think he got you damn near 30 points, depending on what your tight end premium was last week.
hmm.
But the week before he got you one fucking point.
Yeah, he's
One,
very yeah.
one point. Zach Ertz, to me, Zach Ertz has been more consistent. So if you need a consistent point total in that position, and you want to you feel like the rest of your team's really good and you just need a little bit of a floor
Mhm.
at tight end, I would go Ertz. But if you want to go YOLO and you're projected to get your ass kicked, then maybe Hunter is the play. As far as Kareem Hunt, no, not
Okay.
Kareem Hunt. Have you met his brother Mike Hunt? Uh, but what was the other guy? Well, it
Woody.
doesn't it doesn't matter. Whatever the other guy was, it's the other guy.
Yeah, it's Woody. It was Woody versus Hunt.
Yeah, we
And then
got Woody early this morning. Morning, Woody.
morning Woody. And then we go with Tootin versus San Fran, Woody versus Tennessee, or Gino, Chicago, Fields. Oh, Fields, Miami. That's an easy one. Yeah, Fields, Miami. I think
He's
Fields.
playing. He's
Yes,
in.
Justin Fields
Okay,
is in.
okay.
Yeah, Justin
He's
Fields.
in. Okay.
So throw him in. I've literally inserted Justin Fields in all my starting lineups this week because one, Miami's defense is basura, and two, Justin Fields is going to have a point to prove because y'all been talking about him for the last past week, talking about Tyrod Taylor's going to take his job. That's not happening this week. I'm
What
going
what
with
is
Fields.
this? What is this basura? What is that?
Trash. Basura is trash in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
Basura.
Okay. I finally decided to ask. Yeah. Fields guy has the most upside out of either one of those guys because of his running acumen, and I think I'm going Tootin because Tootin can make your day with just one play. And I know Woody Marks has been ramping up his involvement, but I don't know if I trust his workload just yet. While Tootin isn't necessarily getting the workload, he has gotten big plays and some touchdowns. So give me Tootin in that one. But both are good dart throws at the end of your flex.
And our boy Jay from the 50, if y'all haven't subbed to his Substack yet, he does produce some of the best content out there. He's one of my good friends, longtime friends. He knows ball. He's played the game. He knows what he's talking about. He says, don't forget to start every tight end that's playing the Steelers till they fix them that goddamn linebackers. And I'm with you on that one, honestly.
And,
And
and
then,
that's crazy because the Steelers historically are known for their linebackers, but
yep.
they got the worst one from Baltimore. Baltimore's happy that they got the former LSU product out of there, Patrick Queen.
And then shout out to our boy Morik. Thank you for joining us again, my G. Tell that to Derrick Henry. Hey, Derrick, if you out here listening, my baby, stop fumbling. You stumbling, you fumbling, rumbling, stumbling, baby. You making my fantasy team look bad, my boy. You doing me bad. I need some good weeks from you. I need another 30 game from you. I need a 30 last week. What are we doing?
I
I
think he's
know
already at his second highest career total fumbles for a season, and we're only in week 3.
it's
I
crazy.
I, I think I looked this up last week, and forgive me if I'm wrong. Y'all could check me if y'all like, but I think his career high is 6. And then his next career highest total of fumbles is 3. It's crazy because he's not known for fumbling,
He's
and
not.
3 in each game this season. If he keeps doing this, they're definitely going to have to bench him for Keaton Mitchell, who's never fumbled in his career.
Yeah, it can't happen.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't need that
I said what I
for my
said.
fantasy. And then Max says pick one in redraft. CD, who's currently out, so I can't really pick him. But we're talking about for the rest of the year.
I think he's
Jetta
playing the rest of the season.
or Jettas or Chase. Well, me being the biased person I am, I'm going CD. And that's going to be forever tomorrow, the end of the day. I don't give a damn. He is out for at least the next, 2 games, but I do think he turns it up when he does come back. Jettas is we're still waiting for JJ to come back, but he is getting his running mate, his Robin to his Batman, and Jordan Addison back today. So hopefully that does him some solid. And then Chase, man, Browning is very up and down. Right, he could throw you, just toss it up type shit, but he also throws a crap ton of interceptions. So
Yeah,
if if I have to pick, I'm going with the guy who does have his starting quarterback, and that's going to be CD. And the only reason why you wouldn't really choose him at the moment because he's hurt. But other than that, I think he has best the best chance to finish wide receiver one out of these 3. I don't think the typical wide receiver one in 2025 is going to be the one that we've seen in past years. I think we get a new wide receiver one in 2025 for sure, for sure. But which one would
yeah,
you pick, Rocco?
yeah. I don't know when CD's going to come back because I don't care what he says. A high ankle sprain is not anything to play with.
It was a mid.
And as the Podfather, the architect of Fast Draft, which we are affiliated with, says he is high ankle fucked. So I don't care what he says unless he's a metahuman. He is not going to be right for most of this year. So I hate to tell you that, but the answer here is Jettas. He still has a competent quarterback back there, and he's in a great system. He's going to get Addison back to take some of the coverage away from him. He still has Hawkinson to help take some of that coverage away from him. I think he's in the best offensive environment. I think Jettas has a bounce back year. Like you said, I'm not sure if he's going to finish as the wide receiver one. They have some dark horses in there and some young guys that are looking to take that mantle from these 3. But out of that 3, I think I'm going to take Jettas for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I had it up the comment up, but you already know, Katim, I'm doing my little Espanolo. And if y'all didn't know,
YOLO.
I am half Hispanic. So there is that. We've have our boy Jared in the house. What's good, baby? What's good, OG? What's good, partner? Hope everything good. And then we got Evan. Shout out to you. Good morning, my G. He asks, need flex help. Brutal list of options here in a half PPR. Troy Franklin, Travis Hunter, or Tootin. And before the season had even started and after the draft, you would have never really thought that you would have to be considering which one of these guys, like between Travis Hunter, Troy Franklin, Tootin, should you have in your lineup. It's been a little disappointment how Travis Hunter has been used, how the overall Jaguars offense has been playing on the field. I don't think T-Law has played the greatest, and I don't know what they're doing really over there when it comes to getting their guys. Actually, we do know. It's the guy. They have a coach that no wide receiver can absolutely stand, and has had notorious history of beefs with wide receivers. You can go with JSN, who was the most loudest about it. And who I'm talking about? Shane Waldron, Mr. Horrible himself. He, BTJ just didn't forget how to play football, y'all. All right. Everywhere Shane Waldron goes, the wide receiver one takes a hit. I don't know how this guy is still in the NFL with a job. I really do not. And the bread is in the pudding at this point. Should you sell Brian Thomas Jr. right now? If you want to sell on the low end, which we never recommend, sure. But after Shane Waldron's gone, we think Brian Thomas Jr. is stepping back up into the good graces right now. He might be lost a little bit of confidence, lost of what he needs out of that. But man, I don't know. I don't feel too high about Brian Thomas Jr. for the rest of the year, but I don't feel low to where I'm just panic selling on him. What do you have to say about that one, Rocco?
Oh man, I'm just looking at this. The JSN was asked about Shane Waldron um, after Waldron had left after his rookie year, and yeah, let's just say let's just say it was awkward. He does not like that guy. I don't care if he's come out and cleared the air on that. That's just media training. Yeah, he does not like that guy. You saw, I mean, you see the difference between the Chicago Bears of last year and the Chicago Bears of this year. Um, at least early in the season. So, yeah, I don't sell low. I mean, as a point of emphasis, it's just part of my do not do Bible of dynasty. I'd rather, it may hurt me at certain times, but I'll sink with the ship. It's just my code of conduct. I do not sell my shit low. I don't, I'm going down with the ship with my guys, and for a guy, before the season that was worth 3 first, to sell him for nickels at this point, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm betting on him to recover that value, to heal that risk, to get, awful Shane Waldron out of there, which is funny because, this offseason, everybody's talking about Liam Cohen, the offensive genius coming in and, reviving that Jacksonville offense. But apparently he's not a very smart coach because he also hired retreaded terrible Shane Waldron. So, you know, he's looking to get off to a bad start in Jacksonville. And guys that hire Shane Waldron get fucking fired. So that was dumb. He might not be as genius as we think he is. And I can see Liam Cohen at some point taking over the play calling for Waldron because whatever they're doing, it's not working. Outside of the running game, I will say the running game has hit early, but that passing game is atrocious, and it's all due to Shane Waldron, Trevor Lawrence at the head of the snake, and some underperformance from the wide receivers. Travis Hunter isn't what everybody built him out to be.
So
And
that means are you not going Travis Hunter in these three options here?
no, he's
So
going to
he's
probably play cornerback before he hits my lineup again. I mean, an IDP where you have to play cornerback, maybe he's an option, but outside of that, he is. I have one share, one what if share, and yeah, he's not touching my lineup until I see anything out of him. But as far as the options, if you want to go max upside, you can go Troy Franklin. He's popped, but he's also hit zero. And I think if you want a smallish floor, you can go Tootin. He's giving you a little bit this week. He's giving you a little bit of production each week. But Me, I would go Franklin, but you also have to know that his floor is nothing. So, not great options there, my
And
man.
then yeah, half PPR is I probably go to N, but Troy Franklin probably be the second, third in there for sure would be Travis Hunter until we see more. And remember to like, share, and subscribe as you come into our new viewers. Max has a question. Start one: May, Fields, or Caleb in redraft? I'm going Fields as he gives me the highest, I feel like, upside for week 4. He gives you the passing, he gives you the running, and Miami defense has been off and on so far. So I'm probably gonna roll with Justin Fields. Hopefully he makes it through the whole game. We don't need another concussion type situation. Now he's out for another week, another 2 weeks. It doesn't really gel well with my Justin Fields for QB1 take of 2025. Rocco, which way are you leaning here?
Mm, I'm starting May in spots, so I think that's the way I'm gonna continue to go here. Um, and believe it or not, I think I was just looking this up. Let me just pull this up 1 second. Actually, according to PFF, he is the highest rated 2024 QB rookie so far, even as well as Caleb Williams has played. So I think I'm gonna go May. It's gotta be May for me.
And
Gotta be May.
our bound to be high. And we got our boy Gridiron
I don't
Gang.
know that one.
Good morning to you, G. What's up, gang? What's up? Let big and what the let big inactive with Jalen. Big Jalen won this morning, going to piss off a lot of sleepy heads. It probably will. I ain't gonna lie. If you're not up and you woke up to Jalen Warren is out and he's still in your starting lineup, I actually had a little blunder during the week. One, I had way more James Conner than I actually thought I did, and he was starting in a fair amount of my goddamn places. Pissed me off. Can't lie. I need to do better. And then Varun, Vandit Ham. Welcome and good morning to you. Flex PPR, pick one. Mason, Scatterbo, or Swift. I hate to put any of my dogs at the bottom of this, but DeAndre Swift would be at the bottom of that if I'm going just off of
Real,
who.
real quick, I'd go Mason because the game's about to start.
Yeah.
I also love Scatterboo, but I think Mason because of the matchup this week.
Yep. And
I bet I mean to cut you off, but I don't even know if you can put him in right now because the game is literally
you got like
about to
one
start
minute.
like
You got one
right
minute.
now.
So if you do it,
Put Mason in.
go put his ass in right now. Go ahead, and then hold on. Pick two: Mason, McConkey, Chubb, Metcalf, or Jamal. I would go Mason and McConkey,
Oh,
and
pick two. Okay.
maybe even Metcalf.
Jamal. Who's Jamal?
I believe Jamal.
Charles? No,
Uh,
he retired.
he did. Damn, Jamal go.
Mason would. I don't know who Jamal. Just I don't know this Jamal. Can
Yeah,
you
put the last names in there.
can you enlighten me? Where are you from, Varun? That's an interesting name.
That's a very
That's
interesting
cool.
name you got there. Good stuff.
I'm trying to see if we got some international fans. I know we got some international fans, but I'm just curious as to where you from, my man.
And
Uh,
if you are new to the show, man, thank you for tapping in. I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna remember your name because that's a very distinct one. So next time I see that, definitely gotta
like,
get
share, and subscribe, man. But I think I'm going Mason and McConkey. It's Oh no no no
Jamal,
no no
right?
no 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 no
No, no,
no no no
no,
no
no,
no
no,
no
no.
no
Yeah, no,
no
no, no,
no
no,
cut
no,
him
no,
cut
no.
him he's
Yeah,
he's get him
go
out of
ahead.
there.
Mason McConkey.
Yeah
Mason
yeah
McConkey. Go ahead. And
yeah yeah
9:30 now. So here's my yeah. Go ahead and
Rocco is cutting in.
yeah. Go
We're
ahead and
doing an on air cut right here.
yeah.
Yeah
Go Jamal
yeah
Williams.
get him off your team
Yeah,
and just pick up like literally anybody else.
yeah, you good
Um,
for
you know,
sure.
in the points per funny guys, he's like tops, but um, I think McConkey is going to have a bounce back week. I think I think he's been quiet for far too long, and I believe that the Chargers know this, and they're going to make an active attempt to get him involved back in the offense. And this week is a great matchup, on paper at least, because while the Giants have an awesome pass rush, I don't believe in their secondary at all. So this is a sneaky spot for basically all of the pass catchers, but I feel like they're gonna make an attempt to get McConkey, fed this week because it's time. It's time for him to eat. Go
Agree.
dogs.
Go dogs, man. And looking at some more of these games that I'm keeping a track of, we have the Saints at Buffalo 1 o'clock game. Let's talk a little bit about that one and a trade that I saw just happen in one of my leagues that I commissioned. The person sold James Cook for Shador Sanders and a 2027 first. I think that is selling quite low on James Cook, and where he's been producing. Mind you, this owner is 3-0, and I feel like how you've been producing, you're 3-0. You're just better off keeping James Cook in your lineups. And then, yes, a 2027 first is cool, but it's coming from a team that doesn't suck, so it's not going to be an early one. And then Shador Sanders right now is not the starter in Cleveland. Could he be by the year's end? Maybe, but at this very time, I feel like you just sold very short on James Cook. But Buffalo's going against the Saints. A couple of guys that I want to see show up. Keon Coleman. I want to see him have a decent game, a productive game. He doesn't have to be an all-star, but I hope that he gives us above 10 points. I hope he goes for 100 yards and a tutty, just where people can just lay off his back a little bit. If you have Josh Allen, feel great about Josh Allen in this matchup. I think he has
Mhm.
a monster game in store for you. And then Shakir, I don't want to throw too much. I won't throw too much into it because he could end up being one of those guys that throw you a dud, or he could be a guy that gets you like 5, 6 catches in the game. It's so up and down. I don't know which way to go. Uh, the second question from Veron, and just let us know if we're saying your name incorrectly. G, I don't like mispronouncing people's names incorrect. That's one of my biggest things. Like when people misspell my name. My real name is Glenn, right? Spelled with 2 N's. I hate when people spell that shit with one. So pick one PPR. Warren or Ferguson? Jake Ferguson, I guess you mean. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, just so you know.
Yeah, it
I'm
can't be the
going.
other Ferguson because he's not even getting in the game yet.
No, he's not.
Out
I'm
of the
going
two
Tyler.
third Fergusons.
Tyler Warren here, just because, and I said this to my Dallas Cowboys, uh, I would say fans or people who root for the Dallas Cowboys on my Twitter, that if Jake Ferguson doesn't show me something, he doesn't make something shake this week, I'm gonna start getting a little pissed because he hasn't really been making anything happen after the catch. Everything has been just catch, fall down, catch, get hot. Nothing, no yak. I need some yak this week. With CD out, I need you to come out. We just gave you a big contract. Show why we just gave you a big contract and do your thing. But Tyler Warren and Daniel Jones and just the Indianapolis Colts offense in general has been booming, has been doing their thing. They've only punted one time in 3 weeks. That's amazing. So I
Mhm.
would probably go Tyler Warren here over Jake Ferguson. What would you think, Rocco?
I'm gonna go Tyler Warren. This will be a nice test for the Colts because the Rams have one of the best defensive lines in the entire NFL. So it will be interesting to see if that offensive line can hold up to guys like Jared Verse, on that defensive line. But the Cowboys also face a tough test with the Green Bay Packers,
Oh,
who have been basically, a top three defense all year, uh, led by um, led by a guy that used to play for the Cowboys. So it should be interesting to see how Micah Parsons plays this week going against his own old team. And young bucks like Edgerrin Cooper and Lucas Van Ness. Yes.
yes.
Okay. Um, so yeah, I think I'm going to go with Tyler Warren. He's just been awesome to start the year, and I'm a big fan of guys that just produce as rookies. I feel like even if their star goes down a little bit, I still that's like my north star. as far as prospects go, guys that come straight into the league and produce right away. Those are the type of guys that I always want to, acquire even when they're down. But that not really has anything to do with this question. But yeah, it's Tyler Warren for me.
And then I'm looking up and down as the game is in front of me. I'm trying to see, and Kenneth Gainwell is
Yes,
Kenneth
back.
Gainwell is actually the one who's been getting the first snaps here. Huh,
Yeah.
Artie, you're going to end up pissing me off, brother. All right, I can't even call you brother right now, dog. You gonna end up pissing me off, dog. Because what I need some Caleb Johnson getting some touches here, and then we have another question from Varun. Pick two PPR: Pollard, Keenan Allen, Chubb, T Mac, or Jamal Williams. Well, I'm tossing Jamal Williams out of this one real quick, and then I probably go T Mac, and for me,
Do we have an update on his health? I know he
oh,
was questionable all week.
I'm tossing him in there regardless. Now
Yeah,
he
even
might be
even
he
even if
might
he's
be in
busted.
hell. He might be in real hell going against Christian Gonzalez today, but I'm throwing his ass in there anyway because I need it on my teams. And then we got Keenan. Damn, that's kind of hard because Keenan Allen actually has been producing for an old fuck. I would probably okay. In a good world, if injuries wasn't a thing, I'll probably go Pollard as they are going against. Now I'm looking at the schedule. They're going against the Houston Texans, and then the Carolina Panthers are going against the New England Patriots in New England. Uh, and then the Chargers are going against. Looking for the game. The Chargers are going against the Giants. I'll probably go Keenan Allen here. Yeah, I'll probably go Keenan Allen and Pollard. But I would also, depending on his health, throw T Mac in there.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Tetaroa Macmillan because I'd rather just spell it all the way out if he doesn't want to be called Tet than T Mac because Tracy McGrady's T Mac, and I don't like those simple nicknames. But we're gonna go with Tetaroa Macmillan. It looks like he's gonna play based on this report from Yahoo Sports, and it was reported by Ian Rappaport that he is expected to play. Be careful with those calf injuries because those can lead to a Achilles tear. So hopefully it's not one of those type of calf injuries. We'd have to talk with our guy, injury specialist Ben McCown. If you're in his Discord, the Dynasty Gambit, if you're not in there, get in there, and you can have full access to a guy that specializes in injuries, a full time PT. So I would go with Tetaroa, and I think I'm going to sit Pollard in a tough matchup against the Texans, and I'm going to keep riding the hot hand with Keenan. I think this is an opportunity for all of the wide receivers to eat somewhat. Maybe one has a slow game while two others feast. But I'm gonna ride the wave with Keenan this week, and give me another week with Pollard because that offense hasn't fired, and this is a tough matchup.
And shout out to our boy Dylan. Good morning to you. Let's have a day. God damn it, let's have it. Full PPR, two different leagues, both 0-3. Yeah, it might if it don't go well for you here, play it might be time to start looking at some trades. Not to say rebuild, but start thinking about 2026 maybe. Get ahead of the game before everybody else starts taking some players. Hell, like I just said, James Cook just went for a 2027 first and Shador Sanders. There's some sellers out there, my boy. So
Drugs.
two different leagues, both 0-3. I need a win. One quarterback, Mariota, no Terry. Yeah, no scary Terry. Or Tua, haha, bomb on Monday. Oh shit, you're funny. Yeah, I would probably go, and I'd hate to say it, but Tua probably there just because of the Commanders' offense is down, man. They it's very injury played, and I don't feel too high on them right now. Debo's been doing this thing on kickoffs, and he's been trying to give you some solid production. So I think there's so much of a floor there. And then Ertz, once again, I think he's the second option in that offense. So there's certain players, but I probably will roll with Tua there. One flex, Swift, Worthy, Juwan Johnson, and and then we'll get to the other league. For the one flex, Swift is still questionable. Worthy is, got to see how that shoulder holds up and how everything's probably keeping going. I'm just gonna keep rolling with Juwan Johnson just because it followed the targets. He's been getting
Wow.
Juwan Johnson. Okay, so I'll probably go with him there. Juwan. I can't every time I gotta say it just like that. Juwan Johnson is who I would roll with that other league for. So not going Mariota, going Tua, and then I'm going Juwan. For your other league, he says Golden, D Swift, Chase Brown, who I said would disappoint motherfuckers this season. I said he would disappoint motherfuckers this season. Hasn't lived up to it. Or Chubb. I am waiting for Golden's coming out game. He should have had it against the Commanders. It didn't happen because the throws weren't going his way. I'm still looking for Matthew Golden's coming out game, and I think it happened against the Dallas Cowboys, man. So go Golden. The Cowboys defense is very up and down. So go Golden. How about you, Rocco? How about you chime in?
My bad. I'm looking at. It looks like a fumble from Jordan Mason. So, like I said, don't start Jordan Mason anywhere. No, I'm just joking. This is a fumble by Jordan Mason, and we have Jalen Ramsey returning it. Looks like about 60 yards. He's holding his hammy. I don't know if he's really hurt, but he also wasn't hurt enough to start doing the gritty. So I don't know if he was mocking somebody with a hurt hammy, or was he? Did he really have a hammy and have the strength to still do the gritty after he busted his hammy? But anyway, let me get back to our question from our guy Dylan. Two different leagues, 0-3. If these are dynasty leagues, you may want to research the league and think about rebuilding and selling some of the parts that are older. If not, let's ball. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Tua. Unfortunately, you have bad options at quarterback, and I just don't trust Mariota. He did okay last week, but I mean he's fucking Marcus Mariota. We'll just have to hope that Tua Tagovailoa doesn't get hurt against the Jets. And I want to say, man, I know the Saints are fucking terrible, but we have 0 primetime games. But they're also putting on the Jets and the Dolphins on Monday Night Football combined for 0-6. Come on, guys, we need to flex this shit out. That's just dumb. Second question, one flex. Yeah, just so I could say Juwan Johnson.
Juwan Johnson.
The Bills defense is kind of trash. Their offense is God mode, but their defense is kind of sucks. And even if the Bills get up big time, there's going to be a ton of garbage time, which I'm counting on because I'm starting my Saints against the Bills because I think there will be copious amounts of garbage time. So give me Juwan. And this third one's a tough one. I want to say Swift, but is he healthy?
He's questionable.
I don't know.
He's up and down.
He's been questionable since the season started. Chase Brown, we didn't like Chase Brown, but I'll give him a little grace because his all-world quarterback's out. So nobody in that offense is gonna live up to expectations. Chubb looks old and slow, but he does have the opportunity. Golden, let's put it this way: Golden is the upside play because he's gotten close to some huge plays, and if he hits just one of those plays, he's gonna make your day. Check the injury report on Swift and make sure he's playing without limitations. But I think I'm going Swift here. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. And then looking at some of these other games out there with the we talked about.
Before we move on, I just wanted to make one point. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Before we move off of the Saints game, um, Alvin Kamara has not lived up to expectations, and that is because he's not catching passes. I think he has 9 catches in 3 games for 3 a game, and that would be a career low. Spencer Rattler needs to start throwing to Alvin Kamara in the flats if they want that offense to be successful. He's sitting wide open in the flats all game, and for some reason, Rattler's not getting him the ball. So I appreciate you looking downfield, my guy, but if it's not there, your next read always needs to be Alvin Kamara. Let's get Alvin Kamara back to his usual catch totals, and let's win some leagues with Alvin Kamara.
Yeah. We got Trevin in the house. Good morning to you. This is my lineup.
I like he's got Halliburton with the choke. I love it.
Hey, listen. This is my lineup. Pick 2 for wide receiver and 1 for flex, please. Hill, Adonze, AJ Brown, and QJ, or Henderson for flex. So pick 2 wide receivers. Pick 2 for wide receivers and 1 for flex. I would probably let's see. Adunze has the Raiders, and him and Caleb has looked pretty good together. I will say that they have looked pretty solid. And AJ Brown, who had a wide receiver 1 week last, going against the Tampa Bay Bucks. QJ went against Denver, Mr. Patrick Surtain himself, and produced. And I have nothing bad to say about QJ no more. He's making me an actual believer right now. Pick 2 of those guys, and then we have Hill Monday night against the Jets. I'll probably go Adunze. I would go AJ Brown just because of he and I know if our boy from the 50 Jay was here, he's also a Philadelphia Eagles fan. He'll be hyping him up. I'll probably go those. Start your dogs, start your studs. AJ Brown, go Adunze. Hi, Jared. QJ. I knew you wasn't too far. I knew you wasn't too far, dog.
Making sure you're still awake.
The Chargers. Oh, hold on, because I said the Chargers are going against the Giants. I might change my answer here. QJ's been on it. Ride with QJ. QJ, I think, deserves some grace this week. QJ and Hill versus the Jets. It's not like the Jets have a bad defense. I'll probably go QJ and AJ Brown. Be mad at me later. Be mad at me later. Be mad at me later. And then for flex or Henderson for flex. And then one of these guys can be flex. Okay. And then if we're talking about Henderson, I'm guessing we're talking about Travion Henderson. I would have see for him. I really thought he was going to get that prime Alvin Kamara type role where he was catching hella catches out of the backfield doing this thing. So that's where I saw the appeal of Travion Henderson. We haven't seen that as of yet. So I think you might just be better just having AJ Brown, QJ, and Adunze in your lineup. Whatever one of those guys you want to be in your starting two wide receiver spots, and then you can have QJ in your flex, or you can have you just throw QJ in your flex, and then Adunze in the flex. Nah, you have Adunze. You can have Adunze and AJ Brown as your starting 2, and then QJ as your flex. That's how I would go. How about you, Rocco?
I'm just have the game on in the background, so I'm guessing the Jalen Ramsey touchdown didn't count. But it's looking like a great call so far. Jordan Mason, I think he has like 5 or 6 points early in the first quarter. And it looks like a Justin Jefferson blow-up game. He has about 40 yards and 4 catches early in the game here. But as far as so we're picking three out of here, basically, essentially.
Yeah.
All right, so not Hill. Take him out of there. Backwood. Uh, I think I like Odunze. Believe it or not, he's kind of grown on me early in the season. I think at this point he's a must start. AJ Brown showed you who he is. He reminded people who he is, and I think I'm gonna go with him again. And give me QJ. I want to say Henderson, but I show me that you guys are going to put him in. They said that he was first, first. You know, he was running first team in practice this week. So Henderson is a sneaky start in places. So if you need him, I would put him in. But with this loaded lineup, I'm going with those three. I'm going with those three wide receivers.
Like I said, Jared wasn't too far away. He has, and I have given him this title. I wish if I'll go find the next show that we do. He has been the driver, the chairman, the boss, the CEO of the QJ hype train. And I got to give you your kudos on that one, bro. You never deterred off your take. You never changed the way that you felt about the player. You've been on them, and I think you deserve your flowers and your victory lap for sure, for sure. Now, looking at the other game that I wanted to bring up with a new face in the game that will be showing up as a quarterback. Hold up. Okay, before we get to that, Kyle, good morning to you. Full PPR, Shakir, Godwin, Dobbs, pick two. Uh Actually, we were just talking about Shakir not too long ago, going over the Bills game. What? Damn, you really putting me in a tough position because I actually do like Chris Godwin. He actually is back for week 4, but we still have to see how that ankle looks on the field and real speed and real play time, right? You got to see how he is in cutting. Obviously, they wouldn't throw him out there and to play if he didn't look good in practice or look good to go in practice.
Yeah, they
So,
would.
I don't think they would want to. I don't care how bad the wide receiver situation is. They've taken their time to make sure he's at least decent enough to play and not to get re-injured. Because what's the point of throwing the person that you literally just signed to a new contract out to the weeds and woods of things? So I do think that in the grand scheme of things, no, he's like probably 60% or 65, 60 to 70%. We still need to see more of that, but we need to pick two out of those, Shakir and Dobbs. Once again, just because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, so I can say this about us. Our defense haven't been able to stop shit. Okay? Nothing. No passing defense. We had Russell Wilson out there looking like prime Tom Brady and then got benched the next week. That should tell you all you need to know on that one. Dobbs, throw him in there. I think he's going to get himself a touchdown today. And then you could also throw Shakir since they're going against New Orleans. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to dog walk them, but at the same time, I feel very much where the Bills aren't going to struggle very much to move the ball down the field. So those will be my two guys. And Godwin may be a dark horse, but I need to see him for 1 week. I need to see how I'm gonna be looking at him quite hard too to see how he's cut, to see how his routes look, to see how he moves, his movement basically. But those are my two guys in there for sure, for sure. How about you, Rocco?
Um, if I'm going safe, I think I'm going Shakir and Dobbs. I'm not really a fan of Dobbs, but we have a very limited option tree here. Shakir, I feel that it start everybody against the Saints. The only question is how fast that game gets out of hand and how fast the second and third string comes in. Godwin, our guy Kyle is saying that there's no there's no talk of limitations. But not every team will tell you about a guy's limitation. That's part of their competitive edge. Competitive edge, which they're basically being dicks and won't tell us that they're just going to be out there as a decoy. Um, yeah, and his foot did detach. You're correct. And we've talked numerous times about how ugly that injury was, and folks, just wrote that off like they would just turn it back around. You know, after his foot did a complete exorcist. If y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, in that situation, it's hard to feel great about Dobbs. It's hard to feel great about any of them, to be honest with you. But I think I'm saying all of that to say that I think I'm gonna go with Shakir and Dobbs, who could still be the de facto one there, even though I don't like it.
And Max hit it on the head. I like to see Godwin in action before I start him. I'm right there with you. Some leagues I don't have a choice. I need to throw Godwin in there. It's kind of actually absurd how many injuries we've had, and it's only week 4 of the season. We have so much more to go, and I'm quite worried of how my IR spots could be looking by midseason to end of season.
Yeah.
It,
The worst part is the quarterback injuries, because the quarterback injuries affect everybody else.
yeah,
Like Joe Burrow going out affected uh, Jamar Chase. It affected T Higgins. It affected Chase Brown. When the quarterbacks go out, it has an effect all the way down the line and in every portion of the offense, and that kind of sucks. I mean, I give credit to Mac Jones. He put up a reasonable facsimile of what Purdy does, and everybody didn't just go to hell. Pearsall was still getting fed, but these quarterbacks have a devastating effect on the entire offense. That's kind of sucks. Why is Gainwell still getting fucking catches?
I mean, Baxter did say Caleb get into the game. And then Jared says, not sure how he feels about Amika lining up Mitchell. Hey, man, don't.
Feel great
Mitchell
about it.
cool. Mitchell is
Feel
cool.
fan fucking tastic.
Mitchell is cool. But that boy could be barbecue chicken in 5 seconds. George Pickens was tearing that ass up week 1. All right. We just couldn't get him the ball. I think Mitchell had I think 2 actually defensive pass interference. So with Chris Godwin, and I said this in our Discord, where with Chris Godwin back and Amika actually producing on the outside, that allows Amika to stay on the outside and then gives Godwin the more position, or his more favorable position in the slot, where he
Yeah.
does most of his good damage. And I like
Mhm.
that for
Yeah, and
sure.
according to PFF, he's got 104 snaps out wide and 70 snaps in the slot. So I think they're going to move him around. So I don't worry about him. I don't worry about him getting locked up in any matchup, because he can move her all around the line. And you know what I love about him, and also JSN, like that's an underreported thing, is that he's had a lot of success out wide.
Yeah.
When up until this point he was mostly a slot only guy. So big props to them for also producing out wide. So I don't think he can get locked up, you know, matchup wise, because I don't see I don't see anybody following him into the slot.
And then from Ryan, good morning to you. Like, share, and subscribe if you like what you hear, and like the vibes of the show. I'll try to remember your actual thumbnail and name. If I see that next week, give you another big shout out. But good morning to you. Pick 2, please. Standard League. Amika Ibuka, Addison. I'm starting Addison in the league because he's back, and I think he's going to be good. Keenan Allen or Jamar Chase. Hard to sit studs, but nervous about matchups and injuries. I'm with you. It's hard to sit your studs. It's hard to, in a way, like, it feels gross. I would say like that. It feels very gross sitting your studs. With Jamar Chase going against Denver Broncos, hell, we thought Quentin Johnson was barbecue chicken going against Patrick Surtain last week. That wasn't the case, right? To also say, he has his starting quarterback. So I think that is the differences in trying to evaluate these performances. I don't like Browning. I think he's actually dog shit. I'm surprised the Bengals hadn't made a trade yesterday to try to go to get a Jameis Winston. One of the Giants have so many quarterbacks. Start calling. You know what I'm saying? Jameis Winston. Uh, go get yourself a Russell Wilson if you really want a Russell Wilson. These guys that you need to be calling, right? So if I can't sit Chase. I just can't. You know, he could be one.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, he could be one of your guys that breaks off for 10 catches, 12 catches for 180 yards, a tutty. So you have to, right? And
Yeah.
then from Keenan Allen, and then your really choices in there is with Keenan Allen, Addison, and Mbuka. With right now is it's too late for Addison because they're playing right now. So got to throw him off the list. If he's not in your starting lineup right now, you can't play Addison. So now we're even down to fewer options. Amika Abuka or Keenan Allen. And if I'm going those guys with Amika Abuka going against the Philadelphia Eagles, Keenan Allen going against the New York Giants,
Yeah,
I
this is
might
not
just
easy. This is not hard.
I'm gonna
It's
go
not
with
hard at all.
I'm gonna go with Amika.
This is not hard. This is not hard at all. Start your studs. Start the number one in the offense. Start Ibuka. Start Chase. Keenan Allen has played awesome, but that's a three-headed monster there. Start the number ones. I mean, it's that simple. Even if you still had the option of Addison, start your studs. Start your number ones.
Yeah, start your guys. Yeah, see, Jerry says, yeah, I have Amika versus Allen. Tough call at flex. It is a tough call because Keenan Allen hasn't looked washed. He hasn't looked washed. That's the thing. If he was out there looking like an old man, looking like his ankles and knees hurt running every route, we would have a problem here. But Keenan Allen, and shout out to the Chargers because it was a smart move by them for bringing him back. It's very much a discussion to be had. But right now, with Mike Evans out, Chris Godwin, we're still waiting to see what he does. Amika Ibuka is the wide receiver one in Tampa right now. Ryan comes back and just says
Always
Giants
has been.
Giants should go get Cousins. That's another guy that I have forgotten, Kirk Cousins. Well, I don't know how the Falcons feel with Penix and him kind of looking kind of wishy-washy up and down the weeks. I don't say they bench him,
No,
but they keep
Giants
their
should not. Giants should not get Kirk Cousins. They already got a washed-up retread, and we saw how that went with Russell Wilson. Put your rookie out there.
Jackson
That's
Dog.
the only. That's the only way you guys are going to save y'all's jobs. Brian Daboll, the whole front office, is if Jackson Dart goes out there and shows that he could be the guy. Running out retreads and losing games ain't gonna keep y'all jobs. It's gonna get y'all on the unemployment line. They do not need Cousins. You know who needs Cousins? And I'll tell you who needs Cousins. The Cincinnati Bengals, because I believe he could feed those weapons. And for fantasy football, that's what I want.
And I'm right there with you, Rocco. I think Kirk Cousins would be a great asset for the Bengals, to be honest with you, to be able to get your guys. One, you didn't spend all that money at wide receiver for nothing. And at this point, those guys are out there doing cardio with Browning at quarterback. Go get
Mhm.
yourself a Kirk Cousins. Yes, he's not what he used to be, but he's damn sure better than what you got right now.
You know it's even better. You know it's even better. It won't happen, but would it be even better for the Bengals to do? For the Bengals to bring this guy in, because man, he gonna throw some YOLO balls and everybody gonna eat, and it's gonna be fantasy football gold. But everybody's gonna get fired at the end of the season. They need to trade for Jameis Winston.
Yep. Yeah, yeah, I hit that. And that was one of the guys that I had hit on the head that the Bengals should be out there trading for sure. Going to go out and get themselves a Jameis Winston since the Giants have so many quarterbacks at this point. So I like Jameis Winston, even though he is a YOLO ball thrower. He'll get you 500 yards before 4 interceptions. It's beautiful to watch, but also hurts your soul too. I don't know. It's the way he plays football is amazing. At the same time, heartbreaking, crazy work. Now, if we're looking at the rest of these games, we spoke about Philadelphia versus Tampa. We got certain guys we liked in there. Bucky Irving, he had a nice week last week. Mika Buka will continue to be your wide receiver one. Godwin's back. I really don't care about the tight end. I end for the Bucks. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Huh? No pun intended. Knee slapper. And then Philadelphia Eagles. You have Jalen Hurts. He's going to be Jalen Hurts. He might not be the most prolific passer, but he is a dog. Nevertheless, he is one of the most calm, collected quarterbacks in the NFL who just ends up figuring out how to win. Is he? Hopefully, he continues getting AJ Brown touches. Hopefully, everything in that offense pretty good goes well. Devontae Smith is still there, and then Saquon's going to Saquon. So that's how I feel like that overall game is going to go. What I am curious to see is that Houston Texans and Tennessee Titans game, because I want to see Stroud. Nico Collins had a very good week 3. I want to continue to see him have a good week 4. I want to see Stroud, how you pronounce it. I want to see him continue to progress. Christian Kirk, this is your second week back. Hopefully, you can get more mix in the game. I would say that I really am. One note I want to throw out there: we might not see Joe Mixon up until late into the season. I haven't heard a peep
He's not
word.
playing at all.
Like I haven't heard
He's
anything.
Finito.
So that's just it hurts my soul to hear about that one. Houston, I feel like they are still trying to figure out things. Tennessee Titans, their coach is on the hot seat. Callahan's on the hot seat. He could be one of the. I know we talked about the Giants firing Dayball. Honestly, Callahan is my first candidate to be fired. If we're looking at coaches getting out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have Pollard, you have Ward, Elite Manor is starting to come up. Still haven't seen shit from Calvin Ridley. Oh my god! What
Man, that was the biggest. That may be the mega bust of the offseason, because I had high hopes for that guy. But yeah, I mean, that whole offense is trash. 32nd according to PFF in offensive power ranking, and that's what the Saints still exist. So that's bad. That's real bad. 27th in defense. Yikes.
Ryan also says, thanks. You're welcome, my guy. Also, pick 2, please, in a standard league. You in a lot of standard leagues, my guy. What are we? Is standard leagues making a comeback? Are we now? I can't play. I need a PPR. I need that PPR. But pick 2, please. 1 running back, 1 flex. Hubbard, Krosky Merritt, T. Henderson. I'm probably going Hubbard there. And then worried about the O-line for Carolina and Washington, or could play Keenan Allen in the flex. Play Keenan Allen in the flex and feel good about it. I felt like he's still getting steady targets and he's still getting open. So I wouldn't hate Keenan Allen in the flex. If I'm talking and that tosses the rest of the guys out. So Krosky, Merritt, and Henderson out for your flex spot. So if we're now looking at your one running back, go Hubbard. Start your studs. I like Krosky, Merritt, and that's not to say that we're down on Krosky, Merritt, but the overall Commanders offense right now isn't at full strength. And we saw Jeremy Nicholas gets the ball last week. We saw Chris Rodriguez get the ball last week. Yes, Krosky had a tutty on the limited touches that he did get, but I think they're still trying to figure out that running back rotation. Hubbard is the guy, yes, even though he's a slightly banged up, who I feel like gets the RB1 volume in there, even with Dowdle having a tutty, I believe, also last week. And then we got Travion Henderson. Just got to see more there for sure. How about you, Rocco, for those guys? You got to pick 1 running back, and then with the flex, I feel like they should just keep Keenan Allen in there.
If you're looking for upside / safety, I might be going with Henderson, believe it or not, because Hubbard and Krosky have both been questionable all week. They're saying Hubbard's going to play. I'm going to go with Hubbard, but I wouldn't be surprised if Henderson outperforms both, because it's time for him to produce
A breakout game.
And Ramondre, it's funny. I mean, it's the same story of his whole career. He's fumbling again, and that's what's kept him off the field. So I believe need to get uh, they need to get Henderson onto the field. But for some reason, they haven't got him on the field to his fullest potential yet. And he's a PPR guy as well. So give me Hubbard. He's more of the standard guy, and just hope that that calf doesn't lead to a worse injury. Um,
But you also throw out
and
there, this is a standard league, so PPR doesn't matter.
I know that's why I said
Okay,
that
okay, cool, cool,
Hubbard
cool.
is better in
Okay, cool.
standard.
PPR, then yes.
Or you can play Keenan Allen. I think I'm going with Keenan Allen. Out of After all that said, I think I'm going with Keenan Allen.
See, I
I
told
feel
you we
I
can
feel
hope.
I feel most. I feel most. I feel like he has the best chance of producing out of those guys. Only because Hubbard and Krosky are banged up, and we don't know with Henderson yet.
Really was talked about so much this season.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry,
Sorry.
sorry.
Can't be right.
We was,
Can't be right 100% of the
we
time.
was talking that
He
shit.
had the opportunity,
Okay,
and we thought Ridley would be better than he's been. And um,
we was
Callahan,
talking.
he's terrible. He's already given up play calling because he knows his job
The writing's on the
is
wall.
not his job is not for long.
The writing's on the wall right there. So we apologize on that one. But when you talking, really was talking like he had two big nuts, and we finding out they're cashews. Okay,
Oh shit! Long touchdown from DK Metcalf,
damn.
14-3.
He is
That's-
hauling ass. DK, and one thing about DK, I just saw the replay of it. One thing about DK is this man is a physical fucking he is 6'4", 220 plus. He just hauled ass on the whole Minnesota Vikings.
I mean, if he just knew how to play football, he would be so awesome.
That is crazy. I am a DK Metcalf is I might he actually might be kind of some of the somebody who I wouldn't be mind sending out a trade for. If it's coming to midweek, mid season, and we're trying to figure out who we need to, pivot to, DK Metcalf owners, call Honcho. I'm gonna be in your DMs, in your inbox, talking about I give you a second. I'm not giving you no fucking first, but I'll do a second and a third. Talk to me. We got Smurf.
Go to hell.
Go to hell.
Price of that brick just went up with that one play. I
We
got him
got
sitting
Smurf.
for Pitman this week, so hopefully that doesn't lose me my week.
Smurf is in the house, and welcome to the show, my guy. Like, share, and subscribe, and we really appreciate you tuning in to the show. If you like what you see, he says, "Good
Morning.
morning, good morning back to you. I need some flex help. PPR tight end premium, Njoku versus the Lions, or Trey Tucker versus the Bears. I already missed out on starting Gainwell. R.I.P. I think we all missed out on starting Gainwell. Well, me personally, because I don't have him anywhere.
I
Oh,
fucking start game. Well, I don't give a fuck how many touchdowns he
fuck
scored.
Artie. If you're new to the show, I want you to know, and I'm Honcho, and this is Rocco. We say fuck Arthur Smith. Okay, he is dropping the price of the brick on Caleb Johnson.
Hashtag FF terrorist.
Okay, we're not playing with that man. We've had it. Okay, but if I had to go with PPR tight end premium, keep going. I know Trey Tucker had his game, and his projected points skyrocketed to 10. I don't know what kind of floor, and I don't know what kind of game we were all watching, but most of that was in garbage time, and garbage time does still count. All right, it still very much count. But I'm not looking at Trey Tucker going for 150 plus receiving yards every week, or even touching 100 receiving yards every week. And if he does, I'll eat all the crow. I will go out, find me a crow, snatch that motherfucker, and eat his ass. Okay. I will go, and I know we all loved Harold Fannin Jr. I still love Harold Fannin Jr. And the Cleveland Browns are going against the Detroit Lions today, who also have a very tough defense. They're starting to get going. They gave Baltimore Ravens hell. So I probably lean. I'll probably lean Njoku, but Trey Tucker, analytically wise, it seems like he has taken a step, or he has become a more important part of the Raiders offense. And if we're talking about upside or like boom or bust, or a guy who we looked at the end of the day and we said he came out of that game with 20 plus points, you could say, and you could talk me to Trey Tucker over Njoku. But tight end premium, you said, go Njoku. How about you, Rocco?
Yeah. Um, I mean, wow, was that was a crazy game. Obviously, it was garbage time infused. And if you look at it, he had. I mean, look at his other games, kind of for point of emphasis. First game, 54 yards. He did score a touchdown, so that was usable. Second week against the Chargers,
Chargers.
12 yards, and then 145 yards and 3 touchdowns. So just know that you're playing with fire if you're starting Trey Tucker. I think I'm gonna go. I think. Hey, you want to be part of the podcast, buddy? Okay. Let me see. Let me just do a quick search here. And Joku. There we go. Sorry. Great, great podcast here. Live looking. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Njoku. I feel like in a tight end premium, um, in a tight end premium, even with Fannin fully breaking out, I still feel like he is one of their best three options in the passing game. And they're playing the Lions, so I think there'll be some garbage time involved. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, give me Njoku here.
And then best day of the week, you already know is the best day of the week. College football will be a close second, but my Georgia Bulldogs lost yesterday against Bama off some bullshit. I don't even want to talk about it. Also Worthy or Tucker, and then he also throws in a note of he believes, or also a question, and honestly I don't think it's a bad question at all, where they could limit Worthy's workload. They very much could. Once again, he got his shoulder obliterated by his own teammate, and then he's back. He's not the biggest guy, right? So the risk of re-injury there is very likable, right? It could happen. Trey Tucker is trending up for that Raiders offense. He is doing a lot of the downfield work that we thought Deontay Thornton would most likely get touches on, or some ops to get. I like me some Trey Tucker, man. So if I'm leaning towards this week, and Xavier Worthy, yes, could he come out, have a big game, have a solid game? Sure, right? But in the grand scheme of things, I'd say ride at your hot hand and then wait to see not Trey Tucker, but wait to see Xavier Worthy, and then maybe next week, or the week following after that, as he tries to build up his health. I won't say I feel very confident or sexy about starting Trey Tucker over Xavier Worthy, but it's something that I would ultimately end up having to do, just because of where, one, the target share, and how Trey Tucker has been producing.
Yeah, I think they were saying that Worthy might be playing in a sling, or some kind of contraption to protect his shoulder, and that makes me kind of terrified.
Mm,
So I think I think I still go with Worthy. Fuck it, we ball.
Fuck, we ball. Hey, makes me. We got, so hey, you
He's
gotta
more
take
of
a
a
toss.
known stud. I'm not chasing those touchdowns.
Gotta take a toss up. So yeah, I feel like either one is very, as it could give you an up and down type week. So
Yeah, either one has a floor of one catch for 12 yards.
we got the Rams versus the Colts, which, in terms of things, both are actually playing well. The Rams played so well last week that they should have won that game, but unfortunately, they forgot how to properly block a field goal for your kicker and get that shit right. score, the Philadelphia Eagles would have been actually instead of 3-0. I think Eagles should be 1-2 right now. That's how they look. They could have been 0-3 because they could have lost to the fucking Chiefs. If we're keeping it in the buck, if we're keeping it a buck. From our boy Jared, how are we feeling? How we feel like stashing T Spears for the Titans? I am not stashing shit because I don't have Tajay Spears on none of my teams. I haven't been a fan. Not to say he's not good, but that injury history was very much a thing. That injury history was very much a something that had me all the way out, and he's done nothing but prove me goddamn right. So I'm not stashing shit. All right. The Tennessee Titans need to go a whole different other direction. Build with Tony Pollard and go find yourself another RB2 because Tajee Spears ain't it. Have him, and maybe he'll catch on with another team. You're injury prone until you're not injury prone. So up until that point, Honcho says, "Fuck that guy." I don't know about Rocco how he feels about Spears, but that's how I feel about him.
When you say stash, what are the parameters of this stash? Do you already have Spears? Is he on waivers? Like, are you thinking about making an offer for him? Because I wouldn't make an offer for him at all. But as far as stash, fuck yeah, I'd stash him. That dude was awesome down the stretch last year.
Fuck
And if you already have him, I mean, what are you going to pick up off of waivers? And if he's on waivers, yeah, give me that guy. Give me that guy because he's an elite pass game weapon. And I mean, the Titans need pass game weapons. It's plainly obvious that they have nothing. Uh, Nobody is doing anything in the passing game. So, yeah, I'd stash him, but I'm not going to send out, I'm not going to send out a third for him. I mean, if you feel in yourself, send out a fourth and just, throw him at the bottom of your roster. I mean, he's on IR, so he's not going to take up a roster spot. So, yeah, keep him on IR. Cool. Yeah, I'm with that.
From Ryan, start Fannin or pick Pitts or Chig. I love Fannin long term and hate to drop. So is this? If I'm guessing, this is still Dynasty, right? If it's still Dynasty, you're not going to. If you drop Fannin right now, you're not getting Fannin back, and
This
that's
got to
just
be redraft because in Dynasty, Pitts and Chig's not on. They're
true.
not going to be on waivers.
So if I think he might already or pick up Pitts and Chig. So it's okay redraft. Ah. Uh, start Fannin or pick up Pitts or Chick. I honestly, with Atlanta going against the Commanders this week, I wouldn't be upset with you if you went the Pitts direction. If I'm being quite honest with you, if keep Fannin, keep him on your bench. Chig, I'm not picking up Chig. If I and he was one of the guys we were excited for this offseason, when they did draft Ward because he had a hell of a late run in the playoffs for if you had him in the playoffs last year hasn't had the same success, but the whole Tennessee Titans offense really hasn't had that much success. So that's why I'm not much into picking up Chig. Pitts, though, and we're still waiting for the Falcons to, really bloom. And Zach Robinson, their offensive coordinator, is coming down from the press box to coach on the field this week. Hopefully that has changes on how he sees everything. I would I would probably shoot over I wouldn't be mad if you went Pitts over Fannin. Fuck Chig though. Don't go Chig. Pitts could have a week. Keep Fannin on your bench. Don't go Chig. What about you, Rocco?
Yeah, until we get some clarification that the Titans aren't a league worst offense, it's not Chig. If that offense gets better, maybe it could be Chig. I like his athleticism, and he did have a mini breakout last year, but not in the redraft, not now. Pitts, do we trust his weekly? Do we trust him to be a weekly option? I don't. I trust Fannin to earn targets weekly, so I'm gonna stick with Fannin.
And even Drake London is having issues actually getting the ball towards him. So if they're having issues getting Drake London the ball, you can. I don't. And that's not to say that to deter you from going to go pick up Kyle Pitts, but I still think the Falcons are still trying to figure out. Mr. Chris Cross. Oh, for it. Good morning to you.
Crisscross
Chris
applesauce.
Cross, man. Thank you for joining the show this morning. I hope your day is off to a wonderful start. He says, full PPR, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 flex. Would you trade Pickens and BTJ for London and Kincaid? I'd be giving BTJ. I've had quite a few number of people or owners try to come pry BTJ from me, and we talked about it a little bit earlier in the show, where Shane Waldron is the second terrorist in football behind Arthur Smith. And with anywhere where Shane Waldron has been, the wide receiver one of that team has taken a hit. No matter. It hurts, and it hurts to see happening to Brian Thomas Jr. It hurts to see Travis Hunter not being used properly in that offense. Would you trade Pickens and Brian Thomas Jr.? I honestly feel like the draft capital in that you're not getting enough back for Brian Thomas Jr. and giving away Pickens, who I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan with CD out. I think Pickens gets hell of a lot of targets this week. And when I say he is the wide receiver one for Dallas Cowboys, he is the wide receiver one for them this week. And then you throw in like Flournoy, you throw in Jalen Tolbert, you throw in a Turpin to help supplement the touches there. But I absolutely love London. I've had someone try to get London for me. This has been a wonderful, if you don't have London, this has been a wonderful time to check the temperature on owners who might be out or trying to sell, panic selling. This is a wonderful time actually, because we love panic sellers. We love taking advantage of the chaos. I'm not panic selling shit. All right. There's nothing selling low. Okay. I don't believe in selling low. I don't believe in getting out on a guy while I can, because that's how you really screw yourself out, honestly. So, and Kincaid was Kincaid up until last week. Let's keep it up. Up until they played the Baltimore Ravens, right? Everybody was low on Kincaid. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't, I say drink the Kool-Aid, but no, don't drown in that motherfucker. You feel me? So if we're talking about Pickens and BTJ for London and Kincaid, I'm taking the Pickens and BTJ side of that deal. What would you say about that, Rocco?
This is a fun trade because I feel like both BTJ and London are at relatively low points right now. So essentially, each one of those parts are being sold low somewhat. So I think that's kind of funny and interesting that it's a sell low for a sell low. Um, but I think BTJ is a lot closer to London, and essentially, if we were thinking about last year, they were essentially basically close to the same tier. But I like Pickens a lot more than Kincaid. And Pickens has a chance, an opportunity to gain more value in the coming weeks with CD Lamb out. I mean, he could also lose value if he doesn't perform like we'd like, because he hasn't been exactly doing a lot with his targets so far this year. So he needs to improve on that. But I would take Pickens. I'd probably take Pickens plus for Kincaid, or I'd take Kincaid plus to get a Pickens. So yeah, I'm taking the Pickens. I'm taking the BTJ side.
And shout out to our boy Crispy. Very
Crispy.
shout out to you. Good morning to you, my boy. He says happy DK Metcalf Day. Man, I guess to you, because I don't got that much of fucking DK at the moment. But
He blowing up on my bench.
I'm telling you, redraft short bench, start Kraft or Jake Ferguson.
Crap.
Kraft. Go ahead and start Drake. So go ahead and start Kraft right now. And Jake Fergie could actually, like I said to my Cowboys Twitter folks out there, if things don't shake for Jake today, he's going to end up pissing me off. That's where it's going. I'm tired of him just catching the ball and going down. It's, what I'm saying, I'm not really there right now. So I'll probably go Kraft there. Chris, good morning to you. Welcome to the show. Happy to have you on. Like, share, and subscribe. Do I start Chig at tight end or trust Waller?
Woof.
Oh, both of them
Woof.
ass. Oh my god.
Woof.
Ooh. I'm sorry that you had to even type that out, Chris. It's not
It's
looking
scary.
good for you, boy.
It's scary hours.
It's scary hours for you. So you're basically picking between a tight end that's in the offense that's not gelling right now, and other tight end who hasn't played this year and drops worse rap albums than Milli Vanilli. So it's oh boy. I trust Ward. So hopefully, bro, none.
You trust
Honestly,
Ward?
none. I like none. Don't. I
You
don't.
trust-
If that was an option, don't start neither of these motherfuckers. But uh, Darren Waller, I guess, because they need it. They need Darren Waller to show out. They need Darren Waller to be some type of capable. Maybe you shouldn't have traded away John Smith. I don't know, but yeah, Darren Waller. I don't feel great about it though, Chris. I don't feel sexy about it. It kind of makes me want to just go to the bathroom and throw up a little bit. But Waller, yeah, I'll probably go Waller. Never touch a tight end until I can see. I can we can see that. I would go Waller, my guy. How about you, Rocco?
Hey man, as one of the leaders in the Chiggy fan club, I'm going with Chig and hold my nose and praying that he does anything, because I don't trust Waller at all. Even if I see him do something this week, I probably still won't trust him. He's been hurt, most of the latter part of his career, and he was on, he was on the bench. He was hurt the beginning of this season, when he had years to recover. So, yeah, no, I don't trust Waller at all. I'm starting Chiggy, but I'm not having expectations for any of them.
And welcome back, Joe. Good morning, brother. Hope you're doing well today. This wonderful Sunday, football Sunday. Yo, y'all boys, same question as last week. London or Dunze this week, with Drake London having the Commanders and Dunze having the Raiders. I think I'm going to continue riding with London. I know it hasn't been nice. I know it hasn't been sexy. I think they try to get that. I honestly really believe they try to cure that this week. They're going to pepper the fuck out of London. And if they don't pepper the fuck out of London, we riot. Right? We take to these streets. We take to the streets. We go against Zach Robinson. We might just have to throw Zach Robinson with Arthur Smith as a known fantasy football terrorist. All right. Because he's not doing what we need to do out of the folks that we need, y'all. We need to start holding these coaches accountable in their actions. So, slight lean towards London this week. I will say, with Chicago going against the Raiders, Adunze has been meshing well with Caleb. Caleb Williams has been doing what we would want out of what we see or what we think of out of a one-on-one, whether it's a one-on-one in rookie drafts or the real one-on-one in real life. So I would go London. Do I feel super confident in that? No, just because of what the Falcons been doing. But hopefully, and London is still in I believe, the top 6 for wide receivers in targets. Follow the targets. I'll go London there. And before we get to the rest of these questions, I'll let Rocco answer your question, Joe.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride with the hot hand here. I want London to bounce back, but me wanting him to bounce back ain't gonna necessarily mean he's gonna bounce back. So, this question would have been answered totally different, in the first few weeks of the season. But I think Romo Dunze has out produced him
He has so far this year.
basically. I mean, London was decent first game, 8 catches for 55, but he has been non-existent for the rest of the season with 12 targets in the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
And even that first week was a very super inefficient 15 targets with only 8 catches, so he only caught about half of his passes. So something's definitely wrong with Penix. Maybe they need to pivot to Kirk Cousins if this continues, because he couldn't even take advantage of what prior to that was a very atrocious Pandas defense to get basically shut out by the Pandas.
Up, yeah.
Fuck out of here. So it's hard to trust London until something changes. So I'm riding the hot hand. Give me Odunze. I'm starting to get on the Odunze hype train a little bit.
No, appreciate you, Joe. And just for comparison, so far through 3 weeks of play, Roma Dunze is wide receiver 4 right now, and Drake London happens to be, I believe, wide receiver 43 or 46. Well, I'm trying to remember the number. It's not great. It's not sexy. It does make me want to throw up in my mouth and tell my mom I'm having a bad day. It does make me want to have that. But I actually will change my answer. I will go Roman Dunze. I had to go back to see where he was through these first 3 weeks. Wide receiver 4 is good. He is gelling. And I, just for record, I sold Roman Dunze in a one quarterback league for an early 2026 first, a late 2026 first, and a second. That's good money. That's good value from, I feel like, for Roman Dunze, and gives me a good way to pivot. Shout out.
Selling
Oh, hold
high.
on. I don't want to get, I almost jumped over you. Sorry, TS. Good morning to you, my boy. The full PPR flex. DJ Moore, Devontae Smith, or Monty. Ah, if I'm guessing Monty's David Montgomery, I would probably go David Montgomery out of these three. Loved what we saw from him last week as a bulldozing, ripping off runs, doing his thing, looking sexy, looking like a good Sonic and Knuckles, as we like to call them. Devontae Smith, still waiting for a big game from him. He's been serviceable, but he hasn't had like an all-star type of week. I think honestly, when we're looking at the offense, you're going to have to decide. Saquon and Jalen is going to get their numbers, but when it comes to the receivers, it is either going to be Devontae Smith or AJ Brown having a week. I don't think both will have an amazing week. Both it's the volume isn't there for them. So I slide with Monty on this one. How about you, Rocco?
Uh, this is a fun dichotomy. I think I'm going to take DJ Moore out of here, just because from game to game he could be anywhere from the second to the third to non-existent option. I mean, he had a late touchdown, I believe, last week, but outside of that, he wasn't doing much at all. So I'm going to take him out of the running here. And then you got a fun dichotomy of secondary options for their offense with Devonta Smith and Monty. Um, each one, each one has a matchup, and I want to say who. Oh, I think I'm going to go Devonta Smith just because, with even though the Lions game has a higher over under, I think Vegas is mostly betting on they're mostly betting on the Lions to score a lot of points, because we don't believe that the Browns will score a lot unless it's garbage time. But I think that the Philly Bucks game has more shootout potential. So give me Devonta Smith in a game that could shoot out.
And KJ, good morning to you. What's up to you, my guy? And I will remember. I'm really bad with names, but KJ Frederick. Actually, I feel like he was here. And keep it a butt. Now that I'm looking at your last name, you for sure was here last week. Welcome back, my guy. What's up? Two good questions. Better wide receiver flex: Brian Thomas Jr. or Juwan Jennings? Full PPR. And second question. So I'll answer your first question first. For your better wide receiver flex between BTJ or Juwan Jennings, and the San Francisco 49ers are going against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we saw Mac Jones actually look serviceable. Or actually, Purdy's back. So, uh, man. And it's funny because they're literally going against each other. So Jawan Jennings is going against Jags. Brian Thomas Jr. is going against that San Fran defense. But that's the San Fran defense that we all know and love. Well, I don't love them because they've done their kill my Cowboys so many times. I'm probably still riding with Jennings has been getting the targets. I know he's a little L'd up, he still had a decent game against the Saints. I'm trying to remember what he did last week, but I'll probably go. I think with Shane Waldron as a terrorist that we know him as to be, I think I'm probably leaning, and I hate to say this, and BTJ, we say start to studs, so it's like how can we keep saying start to studs and then BTJ is basically just giving you dog water every week, right? Do you keep giving yourself dog water each week, or do you try to flip it and switch things up? Don't hate me for saying this. I probably still try to see if BTJ. Actually, no, I'll probably go Jawan Jennings here. I like the San Francisco 49ers defense a lot more than I like the Jaguars defense of keeping them under control. And T Law hasn't been up to standard of what we want from a number one overall. So I'll answer that first question, and I'll wait to answer your second question to let Rocco get your first one out the way.
Important note on Jawan Jennings is he's been questionable, and it looks like he sat out last week. He had a great game against the Saints, but I mean it's the fucking Saints. But according to Sleeper, or actually according to Adam Schefter by way of Sleeper, or the other way around, he has ankle and shoulder ailments, and he's expected to be active, but he could be on a snap count. So I think in this situation, I mean, we already know that BTJ has the wrist, and he's underperformed. But they also know that that team needs to get BTJ involved and stop throwing the ball to these fucking scrubs. And Hunter is taking a backwood to the defensive side of the ball. So I think in this case, pay attention up to game time, and if you want safety, if you want safe targets, I would go Jennings. But he could also sit. The beautiful thing is they both play in the same game, so you have the option to pivot there. But I would pay close attention to what they're saying about Jennings before game time. But if you want to go YOLO BTJ, if you want to save 10-ish points, I would go Jennings.
Mm-hmm. And then his second question, full PPR. Or no, maybe his first one was full PPR. Nevertheless, he says the second question. Better flex start Debo or Pearsall or full PPR?
Pearsall.
Because of the
reasons because of the reasons we just went over. Jennings is banged up. He's possibly on a snap count. Pearsall can see 10 plus targets in this game, and he's one of the league leaders in reception yards so far this season, surprisingly. So give me Pearsall, who is worth a first round pick. I don't care what y'all haters say.
Pearsall, bring him in. If I'm right now, Ricky Pearsall is wide receiver 17 through 3 weeks of NFL games. Feel good about starting that boy. Debo he started off freshly as like in the top 10 range. Debo is currently wide receiver 16. So 16 and 17. They're literally right next to each other, but I'm going Pearsall just off of volume of how they're going to be used. Our guy
Pearsall's third in the league in receiving yards. That's the stat I was looking for. No touchdowns yet, so hopefully he can score today.
Chris Cross, start 2 running backs. Fuck Chase Brown. I'm saying that right now. Monty or Scat. My team is Herbert, RB1, RB2. Then Nico, JSN, T-Mac, and Fannin Jr. If I'm choosing two of those starting, once again, Cincinnati is going against the Denver Broncos. Monty and Gibbs are going against the Cleveland Browns, and Scatterbo has the Chargers. Tyrone Tracy is out with a shoulder injury, which means Scatterbo, Mr. CTE himself, is getting a full workload. Scatterbo, Monty, they both goddamn run this the same way. If you ask me, those are my picks, man. Chase Brown hasn't lived up. And I told y'all Chase Brown is for fool's gold. All right, even when he did have Joe Burrow, he wasn't producing. He wasn't looking sexy. I don't care what nobody says. Chase Brown, throw him off this list. Monty and Scat would be those two running backs I'm going with, and you should feel fairly good about those guys getting you some points this week. How about you, Rocco?
Scat. It's always scat. Scat.
Choose
Scat
two.
cat. Oh, two. Oh shit. My bad. My bad. Start two running backs. Yeah, Scat and Monty. That Bengals offense is broken until it's not. And I think they're going up against the the Broncos. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Without looking, I think I saw that. I was looking at that earlier. So yeah, I do not trust Chase Brown, and that's a terrible matchup for them. Give me Monty and Scat.
And then from I don't please don't I'm not going I don't mean to no
Fang
disrespect.
Yang. Fang
Uh,
Yang.
Feng Yang. No Feng Yang. What's up, my G? Good morning
Fang
to
Yang.
you. Hope you're a wonderful day. Hope you're Sunday and you get some wins today. Which side are you taking for this dynasty trade? Jamar Chase for David Montgomery, Josh Jacobs, or T Higgins? Jamar Chase. Yeah, Jamar Chase. Unless you don't have running backs and you're trying to fix that. But I'm still probably leaning Jamar Chase here. Still with all those guys that you're getting, Josh Jacobs is cool, top 10 running back. David Montgomery is a top 15 running back. T Higgins is in the same type of wheelhouse as Jamar Chase at this moment at this point with a bad quarterback. I'm keeping Jamar Chase. Which I know is a top 3 stud for me that can easily end up giving me 30 points for sure. I lean towards keeping the Jamar Chase side.
Yeah, I mean this is easy. If you were offered that for Jamar Chase, your screen would be already cracked from accepting so fast and so vigorously. But yeah, those. I mean, Jamar Chase coming into the season was a 4 first type of player, and I mean maybe T Higgins was worth the first coming into the season, but they ain't. That's not even. I don't even see maybe 2 firsts and a second worth of value. Maybe if I'm being generous, extremely generous. Come on, Jefferson. You were supposed to score on that.
Yeah,
You asshole.
he's got like a 30-yard catch. But I actually wanted to
And
say
he fell down. Son of a
to
bitch.
Chris,
Sniper got him.
if and Fang, yeah, for the Jamar Chase side for sure. But for Chris Cross, if you have somebody in your league that's still interested in Chase Brown, I would try to see if you can come up off of him and uh, maybe you try to go get yourself a Javonte Williams, right? I would try to pivot that direction. Maybe Chase Brown and hell, they might just do it straight up, just depending on how they feel about him. If you have to, Chase Brown in the third for Javonte Williams. I would 100% do that any day of the week because I'm not that high on Chase. But to answer your other one, actually, Chris Cross asks, do I play BTJ or Tetora McMillan for wide receiver 3 this week? I am going T-Mac. Come on down, my boy. Ines, could he be strapped up by Christian Gonzalez? Maybe. But also, Christian Gonzalez is coming off an injury, so he is not 100%. I like me some T-Mac. Brian Thomas Jr. still waiting to see. Shane Waldron, is he still breathing? Did he wake up this morning? Did he stub his toe? If yes, Go T-Mac. How about you say about that one, Rocco?
Tetaroa Macmillan is the easy choice there until we see BTJ rehabilitate his image and his fantasy football numbers. I'm gonna go with T Mac, who's kind of come out the gate firing.
And as we come to the close, the end of the close of our show, Jared put up the note out there. So if you have Godwin out there, he says they're saying Godwin is playing a lot. Amika might be Will's up. I would have to agree with that one. If Godwin is getting a lot of snaps, if he's getting a lot of play time, that will help Amika Buka not get double coverage, triple coverage thrown his way. And it could be good sign for Godwin of having a solid floor for you. I could honestly see coming out of this game, Chris Godwin giving you at least 6 points of how one, it was easy catches in a PPR league. That's how I feel about him. Jared with a nice nugget here. And before we end up getting off of the show, since we almost been going for a good 2 hours, hey, if you have liked the vibes of the show, love the show, like, share, subscribe. We're Fourth in Fantasy. We have a lot of dubs to get this week. If you can find our Discord in the description box, you can find links to our other platforms like Blue Sky, Twitter. We're on TikTok. Come join us. Come follow. Our Discord is completely free. You can ask us 24/7 trade advice, starting sits. You can ask us how we cuts, different discussions around fantasy football. We have an amazing community. Also, they're willing to give their advice. So jump into the Discord, which can be found in the description. This episode is brought to you by Fast Draft, the fastest best ball platform out there, who is trying to give you money in your pocket, over $250,000 in cash prizes. And if you use our promo codes fourth, they will double your first deposit up to $50. Either one of those promo codes there, they will double your first deposit up to $50. And just to throw out an added wrinkle out there, if you have, well, actually, Apple, Google, in the Play stores, go out and download League Champ, a platform or app that lets you uh, create your own rankings, whether it's for redraft, whether it's for dynasty, PPR, half PPR. You can create your own rankings and see other people's rankings. And then you can throw those rankings into a contest to potentially win a free jersey if you end up being the number one winner of that week when it comes to your rankings. I repeat, you would get a free jersey for the contest every week that you play and come out number one. This is Fourth in Fantasy. I'm Hancho, and this is my guy.
Syriaco, call me Rocco.
And Rocco, where are we in the land of, man?
We're a fantasy football podcast for Dynasty Sickos, by Dynasty Sickos. But every one of my breakfast buddies are welcome.
And also with your fantasy playbook to more championship wins. Let's get some W's today, y'all. Hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a good morning. Enjoy the time with your family. Relax. Go pop over the grill if it's nice still outside. If it's still not nice outside, hope you order some good chicken wings. Lemon pepper will be my go-to. Till next time, catch us in the Discord. Catch us on Twitter. Hell, catch us where you can catch us. Anytime, any day of the week. We appreciate y'all and keep tuning in. Fourth in Fantasy. And we out.